Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, Chapter 7, Knowledge of the Absolute, text number 1. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Saktamanav Partha Yogam Yunjan Madashrayah Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yatha Jasyasi Tachrunu. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Now hear, O son of Pritha, Arjuna, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In this 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the nature of Krishna consciousness is fully described. Krishna is full in all opulences, and how he manifests such opulences is described herein. Also 4 kinds of fortunate people who become attached to Krishna and 4 kinds of unfortunate people who never take to Krishna are described in this chapter. In the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, the living entity has been described as non-material spirit soul, which is capable of elevating himself to self-realization by different types of yogas. At the end of the 6th chapter, it has been clearly stated that the steady concentration of the mind upon Krishna, or in other words, Krishna consciousness, is the highest form of all yoga. By concentrating one's mind upon Krishna, one is able to know the absolute truth completely, but not otherwise. Impersonal Brahmajyoti or localized Paramatma realization is not perfect knowledge of the absolute truth because it is partial. Full and scientific knowledge is Krishna, and everything is revealed to the person in Krishna consciousness. In complete Krishna consciousness, one knows that Krishna is ultimate knowledge beyond any doubts. Different types of yoga are only stepping stones on the path of Krishna consciousness. One who takes directly to Krishna consciousness automatically knows about Brahmajyoti and Paramatma in full. By practice of Krishna consciousness yoga, one can know everything in full, namely the absolute truth, the living entities, the material nature, and their manifestations with paraphernalia. One should therefore begin yoga practice as directed in the last verse of the 6th chapter. Concentration of the mind upon Krishna, the Supreme, is made possible by prescribed devotional service in 9 different forms, of which Shravanam is the first and most important. The Lord therefore says to Arjuna, Tat Shrunu, or hear from me. No one can be a greater authority than Krishna, and therefore by hearing from him one receives the greatest opportunity for progress in Krishna consciousness. One has therefore to learn from Krishna directly or from a pure devotee of Krishna and not from a non-devotee upstart puffed up with academic education. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, this process of understanding Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, is described in the 2nd chapter of the 1st canto as follows. Shrinvatam swakatam Krishna punya shravana kirtanaha hridyantastoya apadrani vidunoti suhritsatam nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki tada rajastamo bhava kamalobhadayesche jeta eter anaviddham sthitam sattve prasidati evam prasanna manaso bhagavat bhakti yogataha bhagavat tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate vidyate hridaya grantis chidyante sarva samshayaha kshiyante chasya karmani drishta evatmanishvare. To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita is itself righteous activity. And for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as a best wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him. In this way, a devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. By development of devotional service, one becomes freed from the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus material lusts and avarice are diminished. When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of pure goodness, becomes enlivened by devotional service, and understands the science of God perfectly. Thus, Bhakti-yoga severs the hard knot of material affection and enables one to come at once to the stage of asamshayam samagram, understanding of the Supreme Absolute Truth, Personality of Godhead. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee in Krishna consciousness can one understand the signs of Krishna. No sense, Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada.
Significance of the human life. Human life means athato brahma jigyasa. The human being should be inquisitive to understand Brahma. That is the special significance of human life. Narottam Das Thakur therefore says, Manusya janama paiya Radha Krishna na bhojiya janiya suniya bisha khai. Narottam Das Thakur laments, Hari Hari bifale janama pai. My Lord, I have simply spoiled my life. Why? You have spoiled, you are eating very nicely, sleeping very nicely. No. Manusya janama Radha Krishna, Manusya janma. This human form of life is specially meant for understanding Radha Krishna. Krishna means Radha Krishna. Krishna means everything, samagra. So understand Krishna. That is the special mission of human life. So I did not try for it. I simply carried away by the waves of Maya. And the Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, Mayar vase jaccho vese khacho habudu. We are being carried away by the waves of these material modes of nature, sometimes drowned, sometimes on the surface. In this way our life is going on. Jeev Krishna Das e vishwas korle to ar dukha nahi. But we can stop this being carried away by the waves of Maya simply if we accept that we are eternal servant of Krishna. We can stop the carrying away. Therefore, people do not understand this. Krishna himself says, Manusyanam sahasreshu. Sahasreshu means out of millions of them. They are interested how to make life perfect. Nobody is interested, especially in this age. In this age, prayana alpa ayusha sabha kalavasmin yugejana. The first disqualification is that in this age, people do not live for a long time. First disqualification. Formerly they were healthy and they could live about 100 years. As we have seen our grandfather, they used to live. My grandmother died at the age of 96 years. Similarly, there are many instances. People used to live for a long time. But the first qualification of this age, that they are dying 50, 60, 45. The India's average age is 35 and other countries little more. So practically nobody is living very long time. Prayena alpayasha. And manda, they do not know that they have a mission of life. Siddhila. They do not know. Like cats and dogs dying. Prayena alpayasha kalovasmin yuge manda sumanda matayo. And if one is interested for spiritual life, they are also captured by so many pseudo-spiritual things. Pseudo, mandas. Prayena alpayasha kalovasmin yuge jana manda sumanda matayo. They have got a different views. They do not like to take knowledge from the Vedic, perfect knowledge from the Vedic literature or from Bhagavad Gita. They manufacture their own way of life. This manda samanda matayo and manda bhagya and unfortunate. Mostly they are unfortunate. And chubadrita and disturbed by so many things, sometimes earthquake, sometimes famine, sometimes scarcity of water, sometimes war, sometimes fight, so many things, problems, simply problems. This is the position of this age. So, if one is actually interested to make his life perfect, then we should accept the standard knowledge instead of manufacturing different ways. No. Here is standard knowledge, Bhagavad Gita, is Shastra, Sadhu Shastra Guru Vakya, Tine te Koryayo, Jasasya Vidimussijya Vartate Kamakara. If you do not follow the standard knowledge of perfect Shastra, then Krishna says, no siddhim savamnati, he never gets siddhi. Here it is said, siddhaye, manusyanam sahasreshu kaschid jatati siddhaye. Siddhaye, to become perfect. So, unless we follow the injunction of this Shastra, then there is no possibility of siddhi. Na siddhim savamnati, na sukhanga na parangati. Neither perfection, neither happiness in this life, and what to speak of next life. These things are not possible if we do not follow standard knowledge. So, for this standard knowledge, manusyanam sahasreshu kaschid jatati siddhaya. And those who have taken the standard knowledge, jatatamapi siddhyana. So, first, by standard knowledge, by understanding Vedas, that is standard knowledge, still, although they are siddhas, still they do not understand Krishna. Just like Karmis, Gyanis, Yogis, they are taken to standard knowledge, that's a fact. But still, they cannot understand Krishna. The Mayavadis, the impersonalists, the speculators, they cannot understand. They are surprised. How Krishna can be this absolute truth? Even a great scholar, Dr. Radha Krishna, he is also amazed. He says that Bhagavad Gita is mental speculation. And when Krishna says on the 9th chapter, he writes commentary, Manmana bhagavad bhakta madhyadi namaskuru. He says that it is not up to Krishna, but the fact which is within Krishna. So he does not know what is Krishna, and still he dares to write commentary on Bhagavad Gita. This is the difficulty. Krishna has no inside or outside. Krishna is all spirit, Sachidananda Vigraha. So he does not know. Not only he, many does not know. But the thing is that they dare to write commentary on Bhagavad Gita. Therefore here it is said, the manusyanam sahasreshu kaschi jatati siddha, jatatamapi siddhana. First of all, one must be perfect. And amongst the perfect, there Krishna is known very rarely. Amongst the perfect, what to speak of the imperfect? Manusyanam sahasreshu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says therefore, Koti kormi madhye ag gyani shresh. There are millions and millions of karmis working hard for sense gratification. They are called karmis. Koti kormi madhye ag gyani shresh. One becomes gyani, he is the chief. Then koti gyani madhye ag mukta shresh. Out of many thousands of gyanis, one becomes actually liberated. And koti mukta madhye dullabha Krishna. He says, out of many muktas, liberated souls, it is very difficult to find out a Krishna bhakta, a devotee of Krishna. These things are there. So Krishna also says, manusyanam sahasreshu kaschid jatati siddhaya. But this Krishna bhakti has become easily available through the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so liberal that Rupa Goswami offered him respect Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradaya. People cannot understand what is Krishna and what to speak of Krishna Prema, love of Krishna. It is far, far away. But you are so magnanimous that you are distributing this Krishna Prema to everyone. Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayati Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya. You are Krishna, I can understand, but you have now appeared in the name of Krishna Chaitanya. Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayati Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratise Namo Namo. So, Lord Chaitanya is accepted as Krishna himself. Krishna Varnam Shastra. There are many evidences in the Shastra. So, it is due to Lord Chaitanya's mercy if we go through the methods. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared as a devotee to teach us how to execute devotional service. So if we follow the footprints of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then Krishna Bhakti becomes very easily available. Therefore, first of all, we offer our respect to Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi, Gaur Bhakta. Then we chant Hare Krishna, because by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, it will be easier to approach Krishna. Tadviddhi pranipatena, as it is stated. So, manusyanam sahasreshu kaschid jatati siddhaye jatatam siddhyanam kaschid mang veti tattata. So, Krishna consciousness, although it is very difficult, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, it has become easily available. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended Parang Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtana. He has recommended Sri Krishna Sankirtana, although he is Krishna himself, his word is sufficient. Still, whatever he said, he gave reference to the Shastra. Otherwise, it is not, it is authority. That is recommended in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Parangavya. These are the recommendations. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whatever he has given us, not whimsically, according to the regulation of the Shastra, and if we follow the footprints of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then Krishna consciousness will be very easily understandable. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended Jare Dakho Tare Kaho Krishna Upadesh. This is the Krishna consciousness movement that according to the order of Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are trying to distribute the words given by Krishna, Krishna Katha. Krishna Katha means the words given by Krishna and the words about Krishna. The words given by Krishna personally is this Bhagavad Gita, and words about Krishna is Srimad Bhagavatam. So, this Krishna consciousness movement means preaching these two principal Vedic literature throughout the whole world. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. That every living entity is Prakriti. Every living entity. In the Bhagavad Gita it is said that Aparayam itastu vidhi me prakriting para jiva bhut. Every living entity is woman. Those who are thinking of becoming man, they are in illusion. Prakriti Purush. Purush means the bhokta, the enjoyer. And Prakriti, Sri means enjoy. So every living entity is described as Prakriti. No living entity is Purusha. Purusha is only Krishna. So, when we are thinking I have become a Purusha, enjoyer, that is Maya. That is Maya. Or man. But actually, every one of us, woman, Prakriti. Every one of us. And every one of us are thinking as man. Even the woman. Man means enjoyer. So everyone is thinking enjoy, I am enjoy. This is called Maya. And about the gopis, it is better not to speculate. The speculator's writing has no value. Gopis, they are pleasure potency expansion of Krishna. Ananda chinmaya sadujjala vigrahas. Ananda chinmaya rasa pratibhavitabhi. Stabhijya eva nija rupataya kalabhi. Goloka eva nimasati akhilatma bhuta govindamadi purusa. So gopis are also expansion of Krishna. Krishna's pleasure potency. Gopis are not these ordinary women. Neither Krishna is ordinary. So, unless we understand Krishna, as we are discussing this morning, the verse, Kaschit Bhektimam Tattat. Out of many millions of siddhas, one can understand Krishna as he is. If we do not understand Krishna, then how we can understand gopis? So this is not the subject matter of the mental speculators. Better not to read all these books, because they are not realized souls, neither they are devotee of Krishna, neither they know what is Krishna. So what they will understand about Krishna? So, if we want to understand Krishna, gopis, then we have to learn it from the perfect devotee of Krishna, not from the speculators, mental speculators. This is simply waste of time. Just like Narottam Das Thakur says, Rupa Raghu Natho Pade Hoibe Akuti Kobe Hamo Bujhava Se Jugalo Piriti. Jugalo Piriti, the love between Krishna and Radharani. The gopis are expansion of Radharani, pleasure potency of Krishna. These are all spiritual subject matter. So this is not mental. A ordinary man, if he thinks that I am becoming God, that is artificial. That is artificial. This is not artificial thing. And the parokia rasa, the sense of paramercy, that is also there. But this is not this parokia rasa, as we understand from this material world. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sanatana Goswami has said that Avaishnava Mukhadgirna Puta Hari Katha Amrita Samanam Naka. Those one who is not Vaishnava, so it is mental speculator, it is useless to learn from them what is the relationship between the gopis and Krishna. Neither it has to be practiced artificially. These things are rejected. So my request is that you should not read all these books, simply waste your time. Krishna's pleasure potential. This has been discussed by Srila Jiva Goswami, that Krishna is Parabrahma, and to relish Brahma Sukha, a person in austerity gives up all the material sense enjoyment. Tapasa brahmacharjena, they try to relish Brahma Sukha. Now, when they Brahma Sukha-anubhuti, Krishna is the goal of Brahma Sukha Anubhuti. So, when Brahma wants to have pleasure, does it mean that he takes pleasure within this material world? To understand Brahma, one has to give up all material pleasures. And when the Brahma relishes pleasure, does it mean this is material pleasure? Try to understand this fact. For relishing Brahma Sukha, one undergoes severe austerities. Tapasa brahmacharjena, samena, dhamena. There are so many processes. Tapo dibbang, shuddhita satya, for purifying our existence, we have to adopt so many means of austerities for understanding what is Brahma Sukha. Now, the reservoir of Brahma Sukha, Krishna, Parabrahma, when he enjoys, does it mean this is material thing? This is not material. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavita, that is the expansion of his spiritual bliss. Radha Krishna Pranaya Brikiti Allahadini Shakti Asma. That is the expansion of Krishna's Allahadini Shakti. So, first of all we have to understand Krishna. Then, in course of understanding Krishna, we shall understand his Sambit Shakti, Allahadini Shakti. So, these things are not subject matter for studying in our conditioned life. It is for the liberated soul. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you'll find in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he only once discussed about the love affairs of Krishna with gopis, Radharani gopis, with Ramananda Raj. Never he discussed with anyone else, because he was very elevated, Ramananda Raj. And otherwise, he never discussed. In the Bhagavad Gita also, you won't find Krishna is teaching anything about his relationship with gopis. That's right, try to understand. This is not the subject matter for a person who is conditioned. Neither it is a subject matter to be discussed and speculated by the conditioned soul. Try to understand this. This is practice. Abhyasa yoga yuktina chetusa nanugata. When we go to the puja room, we take our flowers and chandan offered to the lotus feet of Krishna. So gradually our mind will be concentrated. Just like not nowadays, formerly very young girls were married. My eldest sister was married at the age of 9 years. So I heard that my mother-in-law was married at the age of 7 years. I was grihastha, and I was also married. My wife was 11 years. So, in that minor ages, there is no actually love between husband and wife. But still, formally, the system was that the young girl, minor girl, was giving some eatable foodstuff to the husband, and sometimes pan, like that. But unless they are major, they are not allowed to live together. But these things are going on. So, similarly, gradually, we develop our love for Krishna. As the same example, in the young age, the minor girl and the young boy, they do not come to the love platform, but in mature time, they become so lovable each other that they cannot be separated. Similarly, we have to practice. This Archan Marga means practice. Immediately, you cannot expect that your mind is completely fixed up with Krishna. But if we follow the regulative principles, then it will mature. Mature. And mature stage, there will be love. So don't be disappointed. Go on with your regulative principle as advised in the Shastra and the Guru, Sadhu Guru Shastra Bhakta. We have to stick to the principle. Therefore, Rupa Goswami says, Utsahat, Dhaijyat, Nishchayat, Tat Tat Karma Pravartanat, Sato Vitte Sadhu Sange Sarabhi Bhakti Prasiddhati. The first thing is Utsaha. Utsaha, simply on the words of Krishna, that Krishna says, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam. We must be very enthusiastic. I must surrender to Krishna. Although my mind is going outside, but I must be determined that I must surrender. Utsaha, this is called Utsaha, enthusiasm. Dhaijya, Dhaijya means patience. Oh, I wanted to surrender to Krishna, but mind is going somewhere else. This disturbance. Therefore, the dhairya. You must be patient. Utsaha, dhairya, nishchaya. Nishchaya means must be confident. Krishna has said that you surrender unto me and he will give me protection. He must give me. So I must surrender. This is called nishchaya. Utsaha, dhairya, nishchaya, tat tat karma pravartanat. And you must execute your business as it is advised by the Shastra and Guru. The Utsaha, Dhaijyat, Nishchayat, Tat Tat Karma Pravartanat, Sato Vritti. Your dealings must be very honest, not duplicity. Tat Tat Karma Pravartanat, Sato Vritti, Sadhu Sange. Therefore this association is required. Sadhu Sangha is very powerful. Therefore we have opened the society. Society means if you come to the society and if the society is nice, then automatically you learn, you become attached. Just like if we mix, intermingle with drunkard society, gradually become drunkard. Similarly, if we intermingle with the sadhus, with the devotees, then automatically we become devotees. Sangat sanjayate kamo. Therefore, sadhu sangha is very important. Satang prasangatmo bija sangvida bhavantiritkanna rasayana katha tajjosanat asu apavarga vatmani sadhya bhakti rati ranukramish. These are the shastric injunctions. So, as far as possible, we should ado sadhya tato sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha is very important. And nowadays it is very difficult to find out sadhu sangha. Therefore we are trying to spread this society's movement that people may take advantage of sadhu sangha, and that automatically, very easily, things may be successful.